It's time to settle the debate of which is the best trick-taking game.
So let us cue you in on what even is a trick-taking game.
A trick-taking game, well, confusing it can be, but fun it is. So what it is basically you're going to bet on how many hands of cards you'll win. And by betting is usually how many points you'll receive. And so basically what you'll do is in most trick-taking games, it's play with cards. And what you're trying to do is either have the highest number of cards or the lowest, just depending on the game. And basically you're going to bet on if you're going to take that hand that round.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes around and everyone makes bets and they're never going to line up exactly, so someone's going to end up sad about it. And
that's what makes it fun, though.
Yeah, and that's what makes it really enjoyable, is seeing all the times that your friends and family think that they're going to get their bet, but it just doesn't end up happening. So to start out, we're going to kind of give an overview of both of the games and then go into maybe which one you should get, because there's a lot of trick-taking games out there, and these are the two that we find playing the most, and we want to tell you which one we like the best. So to start out, we're going to talk about Skull King. This is a game by Grandpa Beck. He does a lot of different card games. There's like one tile laying game, but that's okay. A lot of card games, and it's great. Hi, this is Trevor from the future here. I'm just doing a new edit because the video didn't go well. But basically what's going to happen when we play Skull King is you have to make a bet. And that's what we're doing beforehand, and now we're just deciding who goes first. So I bet 4 and Monique bet 2. So now we're going to play the game. The first person lays down a card and the next person lays down the card. The person who wins takes the card. In this instant, I won because I had a 3 versus her 2. Next, I go first. I lay down a yellow. Now she has a choice to either play a yellow or a higher card. And she chooses to play, let's see, a higher card. She plays as a red, so she takes it. Now she starts because she won that last trick. She plays down a green, and I decide, you know what, I need to win up to 4, so I play a red and I take it. Next, I'm going to start out with probably playing a red card, and then she's got to play something either higher to take it. Oh, but she can't, so I take it again. Now I have 3. I only need 1 more to win, so I lay down my black, which she doesn't have anything to beat, and then I lay down my purple, but because I have the purple that's the highest, I take 5, and I lose. And that's kind of how Skull King goes. And the thing that makes Grandpa Beck game different than most of the other ones is he has like added cards that kind of change up.
They're like special power cards.
Exactly. And they can kind of throw the game one way or another, and it can really screw someone over, basically.
Yeah. Something that I really like about Skull King right off the bat is those powered cards. Mm-hmm. Because you never know if someone's going to have that in their hand and win their trick and take all the points, you know?
Yeah.
And I like that aspect of the game that it's always tossing and turning like you're in the ocean or something. Yeah. I don't know. It makes the aspect of like sneaky pirates and the thematic element really just pop out.
Yeah, and the other thing that's fun is like doing the actual bets, because you have to say yo ho ho and then tell him how many, like show up how many fingers you want of how many bets. And so like it's really fun, and everyone's kind of awkward at first, and I always tell them this is how we play, and everyone has to do it. And so it makes it really fun and enjoyable, and everyone gets into it. The other thing I was going to say is with the cards, there are so many, so I'll kind of quickly go over them. But there are 3 basic cards, and the 3 basic cards are like purple, yellow, and green, and they're all the same. They're all worth the same. And then there's a black card on top of it. That one beats any of those basic cards. And then on top of that, there's pirate cards. And pirate cards can beat any of those. And then on top of that, there's the Skull King. And the Skull King trumps everything unless there's a mermaid. A mermaid beats the Skull King. But if you have a pirate, then a pirate beats the mermaid. And if you have all 3, the mermaid wins, of course.
So basically what he's saying is there's a lot of little rules that I tend to forget.
Yeah,
at least it took me, I don't know, maybe 6-7 times of playing this game. And within the game, there's 10 rounds. And I still didn't get it.
It just takes a long time to master, like, what comes next. And, like, even some of my brothers that we've played this game a lot with, they still don't get the rules. They're like, okay, but what happens if this happens? I'm like, well, okay.
Honestly, I think it's a more advanced game than like what it appears to be.
Yeah.
Because like it says 8+ on the box. Usually grandpa bet games are pretty simple, pretty easy to get. But if you introduce someone to this game that's never like played a game, isn't familiar with how trick taking games work, you're in
it can be
for
difficult. The other thing that about this game is the scoring. So this has a really high scoring point like system, but the problem with it is that there's a lot of little rules that you have to keep track of. So if you're scoring it by hand, don't do it. There's an app. I'll tell you now, there's an app all ready for you. And I think it's called Skull Score. I'll link it in the description or something. But it is the best because you just put in what happened and then it does it for you. Because there's so many rules that like, oh, like if they didn't get their bet, then they get negative points, but it's only based upon like how many they get. It's just so many crazy things. So
save yourself the headache.
Yeah, get the app. It's not that hard. And you can put their names in and it's really easy.
It's fun because then you can see the ranks. Like it will pull them up each round, be like in first place, this person, second place. And so it's fun to kind of see that come up if you're the scorekeeper.
True. And like I don't know. It's good. It's a good game. There's just a lot of rules. And the one thing I do like about this game though is you can play with a lot of players. I'm pretty sure you can play up to 8 players, which is super fun. And it's super fun to be able to get a ton of people in there because we always take the family parties because we have a big family and we can get as many people as we want into the game. But yeah, so that's Skull King. Anything else to add to Skull King?
Nope. Let's talk about Cat in the Box.
Cat in the Box. Okay.
So cute right off the bat, right?
So cute.
This game caught me really off guard in the beginning.
How come?
Because all the cards in the deck are black. And usually, like...
And with trick-taking games, it's all about, like, having a higher card. And, like, in Skull King, like I said, like, there's some cards being different colors are worth more.
And suits of cards and all that stuff. But after you get over the fact that all the cards are black, it's pretty awesome. Because you get to decide the suit of the card. And I think that is one of the things that sets Cat in the Box apart from all other trick-taking games.
Okay, now it's time to teach you Cat in the Box. So, Cat in the Box, what you're going to do is you're going to take one of your cards from your hand and pick a color. Monique picks the one to be a yellow. Now it's my turn. I have to pick a yellow card, so I have to look at the board to see what number I can play, and it looks like I can play a 2, so I'll play a 2 yellow. I'll put it next to my board, add my piece to the middle board, and then we decide who wins the trick. And the person who wins the trick is the person with the highest number of the lead suit. Or a red card. Any red card beats any other color. So at this point, because we both played yellow and I had the highest one, I win. So I start the next round with a 3 blue. Now Monique must be playing blue, which she tries not to, which I tell her, you can't do that. But she remembers and she decides to play blue. And the reason why is because you have to follow suit, but you can decide you don't have that color. And so what you can do is you can mark on your board that you don't have that color anymore and you can never play it again. And that's the fun of Cat in the Box, is that you can decide when the colors are over and when you don't have any more of those. And so your options get limited and limited. So let's see what Monique's going to play. Monique decides to play the highest number of our set, which is a 6, and she decides to play it to the blue. So now I must follow suit. But I look at my options, and my only option to play a blue card right now is a 5 in my hand. So I've got to play the 5. So I play it, I add my chip to the board, and we continue on. You go back and forth until you're out of cards. And that's the fun part about Cat in the Box is that as the game continues, the options get more limited. And you can't play certain cards, and that's what's called a paradox. And I'll leave you guys up to discover that for yourselves. But this is Cat in the Box, and it was a great game.
It's true.
For initially, when I had this game explained to me, I was like, how do you not have a color? Like, they're all black.
Yeah.
But as there's a player board, and as people say, oh, I have a green 3, they place their little token on that green 3. So then a green 3 cannot be played again. So essentially, you do not have the green 3. You have to play a different color.
Yeah, like you just don't have it in your hand. And like, I remember like being with my brothers and Monique, and we were playing, and I just kept saying, oh, it's just if you decide not to have that suit? And they're like, well, what do you mean if you don't have it? I'm like, well, you can just declare it at any time. I'm like, watch. And I just do it. And they'd be like, well, how'd you do that? I'm like, oh. So like, that's like the one hiccup is like getting over the fact of you choose the color.
Mm-hmm. But I think that's solved within one round of the game. As soon as everyone's played the game once, they'll know exactly what to expect next time. And you can start forming strategy. I feel like with Cat in the Box, there was a lot of strategy that I felt that I could take and try and decipher versus like Skull King, where I just feel like I'm placing down a card each round just hoping that I have the best card.
Yeah, it's true. You can take actions into your own hands, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can look at the board and see what's left and see what cards you have, and you can know. Where Skull King, like she said, like you are blindly placing something out.
Especially if you're the first person laying the card. The next person can lay something higher if you want to win, or if you want to lose, they can play something lower. And so it's never, I don't know. For that reason, I like Cat in the Box better in that aspect.
Mm-hmm. The only other thing that I don't necessarily love about Cat in the Box, but it's essential to the gameplay, is how many pieces there are.
Yeah.
There just are a lot of pieces, so it makes it harder. It makes it hard to want to travel with, because I don't want to lose any of them because they're so cute. But that's just the risk factor that you're going to be taking when playing this game.
Yeah.
And
definitely not all little kids. They look like candy.
Yeah.
Like, first time opening the box, I was like, I want to eat
danger
these.
candy.
Like, me, an adult, wanting to eat the pieces.
Yeah. Maybe that's the reason why, because it says that it should be 14 plus should be playing this game, and maybe that's why. But then again,
eating the pieces.
Come on. But so now going back to both of them, unless you have anything else to say about Cat in the Box.
No.
Okay. Going back to both of them, which one do you think? They have pros and cons to both.
I think from a first trick-taking game, Cat in the Box, definitely. If I would have chosen, if I was you watching this video, haven't bought any trick games, I would buy Cat in the Box first. One, because I picked it up a lot quicker. It made a lot more sense to my brain, but maybe that's just my brain. But I also like the strategic control that I have over my plays throughout the game.
Yeah. That
Skull King doesn't really bring. But then again, if you don't really like strategic games and you like just having things up in the air and leaving it up to chance, then maybe go with Skull King.
Yeah, the Skull King, I think that if you're good at remembering a lot of little steps, Skull King is great.
If you have a good rule book guy.
Yeah. Because honestly, there's always little rules, and if you can remember them, and then when you're playing, then you'll know where you're at.
Yeah.
But it just takes a lot longer to remember all those. And then not everyone remembers. Where with Cat in the Box, you can just look at the board and you'll know where you're at.
Yeah, 100%. What do you think?
I think... if you want more of a... if you want more meat to a game, get Skull King. Yes. But if you're okay with just a light, fun, trick-taking game, get Cat in the Box. I think they're both honestly great options.
Buy both.
And buy both. And honestly, they're both relatively cheap for games. And they both
100%.
are super fun to play. And it always changes every time you play, which is so much fun. We have countless times we put this game on our app. And it is so much fun.
Almost thousands, I feel like.
Yeah, we play it all the time. But anyway... is there anything else you want to add before we sign off here?
Cat in the Box is my pick.
Cat in the Box is her pick. I think honestly I'm going to go Skull King. That's my pick. If you're going to get one, get Skull King from me, her, Cat in the Box. But as you saw our top 10 list, we have different picks. And if you haven't seen that list, go check it out.
It's awesome.
We're going to link it somewhere in here probably. So go check it out. Click on it. It's super fun. We made 2 videos. Part 1 is 6 through 10, or list 6 through 10, and then part 2 is 5 through 1. So go check those out. They're super fun, and it was so great to be able to talk to you guys about your trick-taking games. And if you have any questions, leave them down below.
And remember to like this video.
Yep, and subscribe. Have a good day, guys. It's time to settle the debate of which is the best trick
Which is the best trick game.
You've done it to me. Oh my word.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.